Greetings, fellow cosmic voyagers. We often perceive time as an unwavering river, flowing inexorably forward at a constant universal rate. Tick-tock, tick-tock. It's the metronome of our lives, the backdrop against which the universe unfolds. But what if this perception, this deeply ingrained intuition, is merely a simplification, a convenient fiction our minds have constructed to navigate reality? The cosmos, in its infinite complexity, often challenges our most fundamental assumptions, and the nature of time itself is no exception. From the mind-bending implications of Einstein's relativity to the subtle ways our own biology and psychology can warp our temporal experiences, the story of time is far richer and stranger than a simple clock face might suggest. Time is constant, or is it? In some places, clocks act weird, gravity bends and seconds stretch. Here are 10 locations where time might not be what it seems. These are places whispered about in folklore, debated by paranormal enthusiasts, and occasionally tentatively poked at by the scientific community. We're not talking about time travel in the DeLorean sense, not yet anyway. Instead, we're venturing into territories where the familiar rhythm of seconds and minutes seems to falter, where instruments behave erratically, and where human perception itself is thrown into a delightful, perplexing disarray. Are these genuine temporal anomalies? Or are they intricate tapestries woven from misinterpretation, environmental quirks, and the power of suggestion? Join me as we embark on an expedition to these enigmatic locales. We'll sift through anecdotal accounts, consider plausible and perhaps some less plausible explanations, and most importantly, we'll exercise our cosmic curiosity. Our goal isn't necessarily to find definitive answers, because the best questions are often those that lead to more questions. It's about the thrill of the unknown, the intellectual adventure of confronting phenomena that lie at the very edge of our understanding. So, strap in your mind, calibrate your skepticism, and open your imagination. The universe is calling, and it has some timely tales to tell. The Bermuda Triangle. Its very name conjures images of vanishing ships, silent aircraft, and mysteries swallowed by the deep, unforgiving Atlantic. For decades, this stretch of ocean has been a nexus of maritime folklore, a place where the laws of probability seem to take a vacation. Beyond the sensational tales of disappearances, however, lie even stranger claims, reports of time itself behaving erratically. Pilots have spoken of electronic fog, where instruments go haywire, and more curiously of arriving at their destinations far earlier than physically possible, as if they've skipped through minutes or even hours of their journey. Navigators have reported clocks inexplicably stopping or running wildly, only to return to normal once clear of the triangle's supposed influence. Now, as a man of science, I urge a healthy dose of skepticism. Many disappearances have prosaic explanations: treacherous weather, human error, unpredictable currents. Yet, the persistence of these time-related anomalies keeps the enigma alive. Could powerful, localized electromagnetic fields, perhaps generated by unique geophysical conditions on the seabed, be intense enough to interfere not only with compasses and radios, but also with the delicate mechanisms of chronometers, or even create distortions in space-time itself? While concrete evidence remains as elusive as some of the vessels lost within its waters, the sheer volume of anecdotal accounts forces us to at least ponder. If time can be warped by gravity, as Einstein showed us, could other extreme localized forces produce similar, albeit perhaps fleeting, effects? Let's journey from the tempestuous tropics to the frigid, desolate expanse of Antarctica, specifically its dry valleys. These are among the most extreme environments on Earth, eerily Mars-like, landscapes largely devoid of snow and ice, scoured by fierce katabatic winds. It's a place where life clings on by the barest thread. And it's here, amidst this profound isolation and otherworldly terrain, that whispers of temporal oddities have surfaced. Researchers and explorers have occasionally reported strange behavior from their highly precise GPS equipment, instruments that rely on incredibly accurate time signals from satellites. The claim is that these devices sometimes show significant temporal discrepancies, readings that just don't add up, as if the very flow of time in this barren region is, ever so slightly, out of sync with the rest of the world. What could possibly account for such phenomena in this frozen desert? The extreme cold is a known troublemaker for electronics, certainly. Batteries drain faster, liquid crystal displays can freeze, but the reported anomalies sometimes seem to go beyond simple equipment malfunction. Could there be unique atmospheric conditions, interactions between the Earth's magnetic field near the pole and solar radiation that create localized distortions affecting sensitive timing signals? Or perhaps the sheer sensory deprivation and the alien nature of the landscape subtly influence human perception of time, leading to misinterpretations of data. Antarctica guards its secrets well, and the dry valleys, in their stark, silent majesty, may hold more mysteries than just ancient ice and extremophile microbes. The question of time here remains as open and vast as the continent itself. Our next stop takes us to the northern woods of Minnesota, to a peculiar geological feature known as Devil's Kettle, located within Judge C.R. Magny State Park. Here, the Brule River splits at a rock outcrop. One side tumbles down a conventional two-step waterfall and continues its journey to Lake Superior. The other side, however, plunges into a deep cylindrical pothole, the Devil's Kettle, and seemingly vanishes. Scientists and curiosity seekers have tossed in dies, ping-pong balls, even logs, but nothing has ever been verifiably found resurfacing downstream, leading to all sorts of speculation about where this immense volume of water actually goes. It's a captivating hydrological puzzle that has baffled observers for generations, but the mystery deepens. For alongside the riddle of the disappearing river, there are anecdotal claims of time measurement devices behaving erratically in the immediate vicinity of the kettle. Visitors have reported watches inexplicably stopping, or the batteries in their electronic devices draining with unusual speed. Now, is there a direct causal link between the geological anomaly and these temporal quirks? Could the unique underground pressures or unknown geological structures responsible for swallowing half a river also generate localized fields that interfere with electronics? Or is it more likely that the profound sense of mystery surrounding the kettle primes visitors to notice and perhaps misattribute ordinary technological glitches? Without rigorous, controlled experiments, it's difficult to separate folklore from fact. The Devil's Kettle remains a potent reminder that even in well-explored territories, nature can still present us with perplexing enigmas that challenge our understanding. Chapter 4. Mapimi's Silent Secret, a null zone for waves and time. We now venture south into the arid Chihuahuan Desert of Mexico to a region known as the Zona del Silencio, or the Zone of Silence. This desolate patch of desert near the Bolson de Mapimi gained notoriety in the 1970s after a US Athena test missile veered off course and crashed there. During the recovery efforts, engineers reportedly experienced persistent problems with radio communications, signals fading out, equipment malfunctioning. This led to the area's name and a burgeoning reputation as a place where radio waves mysteriously die, a sort of natural Faraday cage. The stories didn't stop with radios, however. Soon, tales emerged of watches stopping, particularly mechanical ones, and even car engines sputtering and failing without apparent cause within the zone's boundaries. The most common scientific hypothesis for the radio silence points to high concentrations of magnetic iron ore in the soil, potentially coupled with unique atmospheric conditions which could absorb or deflect radio waves. But what about the watches? Could these same magnetic fields be strong enough to interfere with the delicate balance wheels and hairsprings of mechanical timepieces? Or perhaps affect the quartz crystals in electronic watches? It's plausible, though the intensity required would be significant. The 1969 Allende meteorite, a massive carbonaceous chondrite, fell not far from this region, adding another layer of intrigue, with some speculating about unusual mineral compositions. The Zone of Silence beckons us to consider how unseen forces hidden beneath the desert sands might subtly, or not so subtly, interact with our technology and just maybe our perception of the steady march of time. Chapter 5, Sedona's Swirls, Spiritual Energy or Temporal Eddies. Our journey now transports us to the stunning red rock landscapes of Sedona, Arizona, a place renowned not only for its breathtaking natural beauty, but also for its purported spiritual vortexes. These specific locations, such as Airport Mesa, Cathedral Rock and Bell Rock, are believed by New Age adherents to be centers of concentrated energy emanating from the Earth. People flock to Sedona seeking healing, spiritual enlightenment, and a deeper connection with the universe. And among the myriad experiences reported by visitors to these vortex sites are accounts of altered states of consciousness, heightened intuition, and intriguingly, for our purposes, peculiar perceptions of time, specifically experiences of lost time or time seeming to speed up or slow down dramatically. Are these temporal distortions genuine physical phenomena, or are they products of the human psyche, influenced by powerful suggestion, the awe-inspiring environment, and perhaps the physiological effects of focused meditation or altered breathing patterns often practiced at these sites? The concept of energy in the New Age sense doesn't always align with the definitions used in physics, making scientific investigation challenging. However, the power of place and belief on human perception is undeniable. Could the unique geology of Sedona, with its iron-rich sandstone formations, create subtle electromagnetic variations that, while not vortexes in a mystical sense, might have some as yet undocumented effect on sensitive individuals or their perception of time's passage? Or is it that when we step outside our normal routines and immerse ourselves in environments that evoke wonder and introspection, our internal clocks simply calibrate differently? Chapter 6. The Hessdalen Spectre's Luminous Anomalies and Lagging Clocks. Let's travel to the remote Hessdalen Valley in central Norway, a location that has, since the early 1980s, been the site of recurring unexplained aerial light phenomena. These Hessdalen lights appear as bright, hovering or slowly moving lights of various colors, shapes and durations. They've been observed both visually and on radar, and photographed and filmed extensively, yet their origin remains a persistent scientific puzzle. Project Hessdalen, an ongoing research initiative, has collected a wealth of data, ruling out conventional explanations like aircraft, astronomical bodies or car headlights for many of the sightings. The leading hypotheses involve plasmas, possibly formed by natural atmospheric processes or piezoelectric effects from quartz-bearing rocks under stress. Now, what makes the Hessdalen lights particularly relevant to our temporal investigation are the anecdotal reports from some observers and researchers of experiencing time lags or discrepancies in time perception while in the vicinity of these luminous displays. Some have described feeling as though time stretched or compressed during a sighting, or later finding that their watches were slightly off. If these lights are indeed complex plasma phenomena, they could be associated with strong, fluctuating electromagnetic fields. Could such fields, if intense enough, have a subtle influence on the human brain's perception of time, or even on sensitive electronic chronometers? The connection is speculative, of course, but the Hessdalen Valley offers a fascinating natural laboratory where unknown atmospheric physics might intersect with our very experience of time's passage, forcing us to consider how much we still have to learn about the subtle energies that permeate our world. We now find ourselves at the foot of Mount Fuji in Japan, entering the hauntingly beautiful yet undeniably eerie Aokigahara forest, also known as the Sea of Trees. This dense, sprawling forest grew on hardened lava from Fuji's last major eruption in 864 AD, and its floor is uneven, rocky and pocked with caves. Aokigahara is infamous for its profound, almost unnatural silence attributed to the density of the trees and the lack of wildlife. It's also tragically known as a site for suicides. But beyond its somber reputation, visitors have reported a range of unsettling experiences, including compasses spinning erratically, GPS devices failing, and a distinct disorienting feeling that time itself is distorted or slowed within its depths. The magnetic anomalies affecting compasses are likely due to the rich deposits of magnetic iron in the volcanic soil, a known phenomenon that can certainly disrupt navigation. The failure of GPS and mobile phones could be attributed to the dense tree canopy blocking signals. But what about the perceived time distortion? Could the profound silence, the visual monotony of the dense trees, and the unsettling atmosphere combine to create a powerful psychological effect, altering one's subjective experience of time's passage? When sensory input is diminished or confusing, our internal chronometers can indeed be thrown off. Or is it possible that the same geological factors creating the magnetic disturbances also generate other, more subtle environmental effects that we don't yet fully understand, contributing to this pervasive sense of temporal displacement? Aokigahara remains a place where the veil between the known and the unsettlingly strange feels particularly thin. Chapter 8. Ancient Stones, Modern Mysteries, Stonehenge's Magnetic Riddles. Our quest for temporal anomalies now takes us to one of the world's most iconic prehistoric monuments, Stonehenge, on Salisbury Plain in England. This enigmatic circle of massive standing stones has captivated human imagination for millennia. Its purpose, an astronomical observatory, a burial ground, a ceremonial site, is still debated by archaeologists and historians. While direct explicit claims of time warps in the dramatic sense are less common here than in some of our other locations, Stonehenge is not without its own share of peculiar physical phenomena. Specifically, there have been long-standing reports of magnetic anomalies within and around the stone circle, causing compasses to behave erratically or give misleading readings. These magnetic disturbances are often attributed to the composition of some of the stones themselves, particularly the blue stones, which were transported over vast distances from Wales and are known to have a higher magnetic content than the local sarsens. Could these localized magnetic variations, however subtle, be significant enough to interfere with highly sensitive modern chronometers if they were left in place for extended periods? Or is it more likely that the time connection is more metaphorical, linked to the monument's ancient role in tracking celestial cycles and marking the passage of seasons? The idea that ancient peoples might have been attuned to or even intentionally utilized subtle terrestrial energies is a fascinating one. Stonehenge reminds us that even places extensively studied can still hold secrets, and that the interplay between geology, ancient engineering, and perhaps even unknown physical principles warrants our continued curiosity. Chapter 9. Gravity's Illusion, Time's Question, India's Magnetic Hill. We journey now to the starkly beautiful, high-altitude desert region of Ladakh in India, to a place known locally as Magnetic Hill, and sometimes referred to by names that hint at temporal oddities like Time Drift Hill. The primary marvel here is a fascinating optical illusion, a stretch of road where vehicles, if left in neutral, appear to roll uphill, defying gravity. This captivating effect draws tourists who come to witness this apparent miracle. Alongside this well-documented illusion, however, there are more esoteric claims, stories that clocks, particularly mechanical ones, tick at a noticeably different rate in this specific area, or that people experience a subtle sense of time passing differently. The uphill rolling phenomenon is in fact a clever trick of perception. The layout of the surrounding landscape, with obscured horizons and sloping terrain, creates a powerful optical illusion where a slight downhill slope appears to be an uphill one. Our brains are easily fooled by such visual cues. But what about the claims of altered clock rates? General relativity tells us that gravity does affect time. Stronger gravity makes time run slower. However, the gravitational variations on Earth are incredibly minuscule, and the effect on time is far too small to be perceived by humans or to visibly affect a standard watch. Could there be other, unconfirmed local anomalies at play, or are these temporal claims simply an embellishment, an extension of the site's existing mystique born from the gravity-defying illusion? It's a perfect example of how our perception can be a powerful shaper of what we believe to be real. Chapter 10. Kailash Axis Mundi and the Accelerated March of Time. Our final destination is one of profound spiritual significance. Mount Kailash in Tibet, a sacred peak revered by billions across multiple faiths: Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Bon. It's considered by many to be the Axis Mundi, the cosmic pillar, the center of the world. Pilgrims undertake the arduous Kora, a circumambulation of the mountain, believing it to cleanse karma and bring spiritual merit. Amongst the deep spiritual beliefs and the challenging physical environment of this high-altitude region, some extraordinary claims have arisen concerning time. There are persistent legends that time flows differently around Kailash, specifically that those who trek near the mountain or complete the Kora age faster than they would elsewhere. Reports also surface of watches and electronic devices malfunctioning or behaving erratically. The claim of accelerated aging is a potent one, often linked to the intense spiritual energy believed to permeate the area, or sometimes to the sheer difficulty of the pilgrimage at extreme altitudes. which can certainly take a toll on the human body. From a scientific standpoint, there's no known mechanism by which a geographical location could cause biological aging to speed up so dramatically. Malfunctioning watches could be attributed to the extreme cold, low atmospheric pressure affecting batteries or lubricants, or perhaps even subtle magnetic variations. While the notion of Kailash as a place where the cosmic clock ticks faster is deeply woven into its mythology, it's more likely that the profound spiritual experiences combined with the physiological stresses of the high Himalayas create a powerful, albeit subjective, alteration in the perception of time and life's passage for those who make the sacred journey. Ultra beyond the ticking clock, our cosmic quest continues. So we've journeyed across the globe, from the depths of the Atlantic to the heights of the Himalayas, exploring 10 remarkable places where the familiar, steady rhythm of time seems to falter, or at least where our perception of it is profoundly challenged. From the Bermuda Triangle's temporal fogs to Mount Kailash's alleged accelerated aging, each location offers a unique blend of folklore, anecdotal evidence, and tantalizing hints of unexplained physical phenomena. While rigorous scientific proof for genuine time warps remains elusive in most of these cases, the persistent questions they raise are, in themselves, incredibly valuable. They push us to examine the boundaries of our knowledge and to appreciate the sheer strangeness and wonder that our universe holds. The nature of time, as Einstein revealed, is far more malleable than our everyday experience suggests. It's interwoven with space, influenced by gravity and velocity, and while these grand cosmic effects are usually imperceptible in our daily lives, these mysterious locations invite us to ponder if there are other, more localized or subtle ways in which time's flow can be perturbed, or at least how our perception of it can be so dramatically altered by environment, psychology, and perhaps even by forces we don't yet comprehend. The universe is under no obligation to conform to our intuitions, and that's what makes its exploration so endlessly fascinating. Is time broken, or are we? Explore the mysteries with us, like subscribe and question everything. Keep looking up, keep wondering, and never stop seeking to understand the cosmos and our place within it. The greatest adventures are those of the mind, and the mystery of time is one of the grandest adventures of all. Until next time, keep your clocks wound and your minds open.